Pat Project family, how's it going? We have an awesome episode for you guys today with none other than Hunter Henderson. Hunter Henderson, at the age of 27, has broken her own squat record 3 different times, all-time world record holder. Another amazing fact about Hunter is that she chose to just do bodybuilding in 2021, right? Just chose to do bodybuilding and then got her IFBB Pro card after, I believe, 3 shows. This girl is crazy, guys, in the best way possible, but we got a lot of information on her about how she's been able to just smash the powerlifting world, smash the bodybuilding world, and she also talked about some fun stuff as far as steroids are concerned. So this is going to be a really, really good episode. You don't want to miss it. Enjoy this episode with none other than Hunter Henderson. Power Project family, how's it going? Now on this podcast, we've talked to so many professionals, coaches, doctors about the importance of getting your blood work done. I've gotten it done, Mark's gotten it done, Andrew's gotten it done. We know what's going on under the hood, and we know that we are healthy and heading in the right direction. But we know some people who have gotten their blood work done and they have been healthy and they've had to get treatment for certain things, and they're glad that they did. And that's why we've partnered with Marek Health, owned by Derek from More Plates, More Days. Now, Marek Health is the premium TRT clinic that no matter what you get done, no matter what tests you get done, Marek Health gives you plans for you. They don't give you cookie cutter plans like a lot of other telehealth clinics do, where you'll give your blood work and they'll just give you what they give to everybody. They give you specific plans for you, your specific levels. And that is extremely important. Andrew, can you tell the people more about it?
Yes, you guys got to head over to marekhealth.com. That's MAREK health.com. And whether you're interested in HRT or you just want to get some labs done, use promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all your labs. Again, marekhealth.com. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
What's up, Power Project family? This episode's about to come with some heat. So with that being said, here's a medical disclaimer. Mark Bell's Power Project podcast YouTube channel does not contain medical advice. We're not doctors nor the featured guests. The contents of this YouTube channel, such as videos, text, graphics, images, and other material, are intended for entertainment, informational, and educational purposes only, and not for the purpose of rendering medical advice. The contents of this YouTube channel are not intended for to substitute professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Although we make efforts to keep medical information on our channel updated, we cannot guarantee that the information on our channel reflects the most up-to-date research. Consult your physician for medical advice. Always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare providers regarding a medical condition. Never disregard or delay seeking professional medical advice or treatment because of something you have heard in a YouTube video. Before taking any medications, over-the-counter drugs, supplements, or herbs, consult a physician for thorough evaluation. This channel does not endorse any medications, vitamins, herbs, nor do we condone the use of illegal drugs or use of drugs for unintended purposes. A qualified physician should make a decision based on each person's medical history and current prescriptions. Enjoy.
Yeah, it tastes gross.
Tastes like dirt.
It does.
I like calling it earthy.
Yeah,
It's very earthy.
Yeah.
Has an earth tone to it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Hello?
You see me roll?
This thing on? So what's the deal with competing? How many times have you competed, do you think, in your powerlifting career?
So this was my 6th competition.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That ain't that much.
No, I've only been powerlifting for about 3.5 years.
Oh, just come in and just fuck everybody up. Okay.
I'm trying. That's the goal.
That is very disrespectful.
3 years.
Show's not starting out so good, Andrew.
3 years.
Can we start this all over and not ask that question?
Yeah.
So about 3 months ago, I decided to actually venture off into bodybuilding.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So I competed at a local show in Nebraska, and then about a month after that, I competed again and got my pro card, and then went on to the Tampa Pro and got 2nd.
Can we please talk about how difficult it is for any bodybuilder to get an IFBB Pro card real quick? Because people compete for like a decade and they're just like, oh, gonna get my pro card. And then in the first year of bodybuilding, you fucking roll in and decimate.
It must be politics.
Maybe I got lucky.
You must have known somebody.
I had to have, right?
Jesus Christ. What were you doing when you were a kid? Like what sports, anything? Like,
Yeah, sports. Basketball, softball, track, cross country, everything I could do, I was doing. So pretty athletic growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you think someone should compete in powerlifting? Because you said you've done it 6 times now, and you mentioned you had a little bit of a break with the contest that you just did yesterday. So if someone's kind of newer, should they be competing like maybe 3 or 4 times a year, or way less, you think?
Way less. I would say probably 1 to 2 times a year, because, you know, if you're competing that often back to back like that, how much progress are you actually making? Like, let's say I compete today and I compete again in a month, which I actually am.
Well, on your level,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But you add 2 pounds to your total, 5 pounds to your total. Like,
right.
what are you getting out of that?
You want to try to build a foundation literally every time you compete, right? When you're done competing, you need like 12 weeks or a couple months to repair and recoup and rebuild.
Absolutely. And you stay healthier that way.
Were you going easy in this past? Because you said this meet was a warm-up meet, right? And you're competing against next month. So
it was.
With your attempts, were they just like seeing where you were, or were your third attempts like,
So we tried to be aggressive with the squat because the world record for the 181 class is 540. So I attempted like 550 for my third and failed. But everything else was just kind of see how we feel. We didn't really want to like run me into the ground for this one, you know?
Mm-hmm. And after just competing in a bodybuilding show, we're definitely going to get into that, but you were super lean. And you're still pretty lean right now, for a powerlifter. Yeah, you're still lean for a powerlifter. But going on stage, having all that fatigue, and how long ago was that? How many months ago?
2 months ago.
2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
How did you regain all of that, like, the body fat you need to be strong, just everything you need to be able to perform on a platform? Because 2 months, that's quick.
That is very quick. So for the Tampa Pro, I was 153 pounds on stage.
Damn.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I did not realize the importance of reverse dieting.
Okay.
As I'm sure many other bodybuilders have done, I thought I was free to eat. And your girl ate. Your girl ate good. I was like getting up in the middle of the night.
Maybe you just reinvented the way we look at reverse dieting.
Maybe. So yeah, I definitely gained it all back very fast. And now I actually sit about 10 pounds higher than I did before bodybuilding. So,
okay.
You said you're 195 pounds. Is that hard to look at? Do you feel bad about that when you see that on the scale? Because I mean, it's a girl thing, right? Sometimes you're looking at, or just anyone that's trying to stay fit, stay within a certain range. You see that weight, you were 153.
Yeah.
You see the scale go up and now you're 195. Is that hard to deal with? Or you're like, this is just a phase that I have to kind of push myself through?
It was hard at first. You know, you see yourself like dry as a bone, lean, you know, it's so cool to see yourself like that. And then you see yourself pretty soft and, you know, it was hard at first, but I think I enjoy it now. I got some curves. I like the curves. So
what made you even venture into doing bodybuilding? Let's talk about that. Because was it a spur of the moment type thing? Because you were holding a good amount of muscle before you started your prep, right? Yeah.
Yes. So I was prepping for the 2020 Kern US Open, and I have to cut weight. I have to cut about 20 pounds to compete in the 165 class.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So I was cutting down for that, and, you know, just looking at my physique, I was like, I bet I could do that. I bet I could try bodybuilding and go for it. And the intention was just one show, just try it out, see if I like it. And then we kind of pushed a little further. Opportunities presented themselves, and I just went for it.
And were you able to put on a good amount of muscle during your prep? Like, did you put on new muscle, or was this just cutting down and getting lean and seeing what you had there already?
Basically cutting down, getting lean, which I found out I have a pretty small frame. Yeah.
Okay. Did your training style change from powerlifting at all, or were you doing more volume?
More volume, and I still did the compound lifts. I still squat, bench, deadlifted. Deadlifted, not so much, but lower weight, higher reps, stuff like that.
Did you have an advantage coming from a powerlifting background? Like when you started to like lean out, was your coach and some people around you kind of like, oh shit, like you have hamstrings and you have this, you have that?
My back. My back is a moneymaker. My back is pretty great.
So a big part of it's from like just doing some of the compound movements, some of the power lifts, just holding the extra weight on your back and deadlifting the extra weight. Yeah. Widen out the back a bit.
Yeah.
What did you learn? Like, I guess you've never really done a cut like that before in your athletic career, right?
Never.
So, because a lot of people, when they get ready for bodybuilding preps, they learn a lot of things about themselves. Like, if you could tell us, like, how long was your cut? How long was your prep? What did you change about your diet from going from powerlifting to training and dieting for bodybuilding? What changed for you?
So the diet didn't really change. It was all the same foods. We started each show. I just progressively got more lean. So like the first show, I didn't come in as, oh wow, that's awesome.
Damn.
So that's
awesome.
That video was right before I got on stage for the Tampa Pro. So cool.
Bruh.
It looks incredible. It's amazing when you're getting ready for a bodybuilding show how almost daily you noticed small changes, right? You're like,
so
what's that?
Cool to see.
What's that vein? What's that
Right?
tricep thing popping out? You're
That
like,
wasn't
my
here
God.
yesterday.
Right?
Yeah, it's so cool to see your body change.
How did you get yourself into like just lifting weights in general? You mentioned you played a lot of sports. Was it kind of
did.
from that when you were young?
Yeah, kind of. My mom is actually like the fitness manager at her base.
Of course she is.
Yeah. She's a senior master sergeant in the Air Force.
Whoa.
So I grew up just tagging along on her PT tests. And then that just kind of, I've always been competitive, So in college, I just stayed active. I was actually a runner for a long time. And then...
Runner, like sprinter, cross country, like what do you
like I wanted to do marathons. Or I thought I wanted to do marathons.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't know if you guys know Stacy Burr. She was a 148 competitor, super good. I saw, I was a gym rat for a long time. And then one day I saw a video of her deadlifting. And up until that point, I had no idea what powerlifting was.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh man, I think I can do that. I'm going to try that.
How long ago was that?
About 3.5 years
3.5
ago.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw that video. I signed up for my first meet. And
How'd you do in the first contest?
I think I totaled 950 at 165.
Okay. What were you like? What did your SBD look like at that time? I just want to see like your strength
Yeah.
gain for the past 3 years.
I think I squatted at that meet. I squatted 350, benched 192, and
Wow.
deadlifted 374. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's really interesting because I think that, you're mentioning like for newer lifters, they probably shouldn't compete that often.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds like, hey, like if you haven't really worked that hard yet and haven't been that consistent, maybe you just shouldn't even bother to compete at all for a bit until you got some sort of good base going.
Yes. I've talked
Like
about
have
this a
fun,
lot.
just train, right?
Yes, absolutely. I was a gym rat for like 2 years, and I am so thankful that I spent those 2 years just building a solid base. Like I came into powerlifting with a pretty solid muscle, like I was already pretty muscular. And I think a lot of people just jump straight into powerlifting without building that base, and they just go straight to the compound lifts without, maturing and building muscle. And so,
Yeah.
So maybe mess around with some isolation stuff and some machines and things like that for a little while.
yeah, I would totally recommend that.
It's funny, we mention this all the time. We had Andrew Zaragoza when he was in the podcast. He literally said that lifters need to spend the first few years of their lifting focusing on volume before
Yes.
even trying to lift heavy. Just focus on volume and build
Yes.
a base of muscle.
Yes.
And then start, because like when you have the base of muscle and you move into strength, you're already going to, like yourself, you had an advantage. Not only did you also do volume, you were also an athlete for a lot of your life. So you knew how to move your body. You probably had great
Yes.
body mechanics.
Yes.
So that's insane. When you, I guess, transitioned to just strength and powerlifting, did you have an idea? Like, did you just enjoy it, or were you like, I want to take this super fucking far?
I just enjoyed it at the time. I didn't take it very seriously. I didn't really know much. I was just learning, just starting out. So, yeah, I just it was something fun. It was something new, and I just wanted to try it.
How often do you max out when you're getting ready for a powerlifting meet? Because different people have kind of different ways they go about doing things. Are you putting yourself to the test like weekly, or are you staying way away from the real heavyweights until competition time?
Not weekly. I would say closer to the competition, like those last few weeks, I'll do some heavy singles just to like prime the body and get ready and kind of see what's there. So.
But in your training, are you more of a fan of like doing reps and sets and things like that with modest weights that you're keeping like picture perfect form with?
Yeah,
type stuff?
yeah, definitely in the off season, like more reps, more volume.
It's so boring to train that way,
I know, it sucks.
but it works.
It does work. It does work.
It's super effective.
Yeah. I want to know this too. As far as like what was your weight in your first meet? How much did you weigh? Like what class were you in? You said 165?
Yeah, I weighed in at 165.
So you were already like you Yeah, you were already.
I was already big.
And you're still nowadays. You're competing in what weight class?
So yesterday I competed in the 181 class.
181.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And that's where. Let me ask, like, was that a water cut down to that?
I did have to water cut. I cut about 13 pounds.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel that negatively impacts you on the platform, or doesn't really catch you too much?
It can, as long as you have like a good refeed and hydration protocol, after weigh-ins, you're fine, but it does affect your performance.
Yeah, so you know that you're going to take a hit if you're going to cut weight. It's just kind of the way that it is.
Yeah.
Do you have all the different records? Like, do you have like the bench record and the, because I know that you have a handful of world records, but do you have like bench, squat, deadlift, total? Do you have all that down?
No, I have a couple squat records and a total record. No bench and no deadlift. Sadly.
How far away are you on those? Or is it a pretty good gap between you and some of the other people that are on top?
I want to say this pun. What is Hunter hunting for?
Ooh, that was good.
That was fucking good, wasn't it?
So the deadlift for the 165 is like 608. And I think the best I've done is 578. So getting there, getting close. Deadlift is my worst lift. So still trying to figure that one out. And bench, I think the world record for the 165s is like 350, 345, somewhere in there. So, and my best is 325. So.
What do you like about powerlifting? What do you think attracts you to it and helps you keep coming back for more?
A lot. The people, the atmosphere. I don't know. I like being in the position of not quite knowing what I'm capable of and going for it anyway. I like that a lot.
You mentioned the people. When it comes to like your training, are you training by yourself? Are you training in a group setting? Are there, other friends at the gym? Like some people train kind of in isolation, which I don't know how they do it. They go like in their basement and they train with their music.
I don't know.
Fucking psychopaths.
Really, seriously, I could not do that.
But what's your training look like? You got friends that you're lifting with and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so for powerlifting, I train at Strong Barbell Club, and we have like a whole team. We all train at the same day, same time. Everybody's spotting and loading for you, helping you. It's a good atmosphere. For bodybuilding, though, I actually kind of ventured off by myself.
Bodybuilding's weird.
That's what it does to you.
Yeah. I preferred actually to be by myself.
Why?
I don't know, like lack of food. I was kind of a little more irritable, and I just kind of wanted to do it on my own.
You kind of need like to put your hoodie on and just be like in your own shit and throw some music on and just be in your own weird place for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know why that is.
Absolutely agree.
In the environment that you're training, are you getting coached all the time? Like, I'm sure that people are probably saying, hey, like, you're doing this on your bench today and you don't normally do that. What's going on? You get that kind of coaching while you're training?
Yes, I do have some veteran lifters around me at all times, and that's really nice, really helpful. My coaches, though, are actually remote. Joe Sullivan and Jake Benson, they live in Las Vegas and Utah. So I'll just communicate with them through text or whatever. But yeah, I do have quite a few very knowledgeable people around me at the gym, which is nice. Huge advantage.
I'm curious. That's two coaches. So what is the different things that they do for you?
So I recently hired them, and they both kind of wanted to work together because, like one is more good with like technique and a little more knowledgeable there, and one's a little more knowledgeable with like diet and drugs and things like that. So they both kind of wanted to put their brains together and help me out.
Real quick question too. 3.5 years, right, of powerlifting?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any real sticking points as far as strength is concerned? Because or has this been, because it seems like, honestly, it seems like some newbie gains, and it's dope because it's like, what the fuck is going to slow you down? A lot of lifters reach that point like, 700 deadlift or whatever. And they're like, right?
Yeah.
But it just seems that you're just like,
steady climbing.
Yeah.
Not every day is a world record for me, but yeah, I haven't really plateaued, knock on wood. I hope this is wood.
It's wood. It's wood.
Haven't plateaued. I don't know. I just have a lot of fun and go out there and do my best.
Okay.
You mentioned drugs, so we got to stop there and we got
Let's do it. Let's get into
We
it.
got to talk about trend and everything else, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, like when a male athlete makes a decision to do them, a lot of times we understand, okay, we might get more male-ish. We might get facial hair. We might have hair growing in weird spots that normally wouldn't grow. I used to have one hair on my chest, literally one hair.
Now you're a bear.
Now I'm a power bear. I'm a full-blown power bear.
Nice.
So yeah, like all kinds of things like that happen. But when a woman takes them, the considerations are the same, but it's vastly different because maybe that's not the route you want to go.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start using performance enhancing drugs in comparison to how long you've been training?
Yeah. So I decided, what was it? It was after my second meet. I totaled 1,080 at 165. And I knew then if I had a little help that I would do something pretty special in this sport. So after that,
was that maybe kind of because of the people you were surrounded with? Did you see other people like lifting astonishing weights? Not necessarily your friends and not necessarily your coaches, but the people that you were following in the sport. Were they in non-drug tested federations, and that's what you were keeping your eye on? Yeah.
So I was watching like Mariana and Steffi and Cece, and Stacy Burr. You know, they were all at the top at the time. And I knew then, like, man, if I just had something to help me out, I bet you I could be up there right with them. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
What are some of those, and how long were you training for before you decided to do it? I'm not sure if you mentioned how many years you were training.
I was probably doing powerlifting for about a year. And then I decided that.
But you're maybe lifting previously for 4 or 5 years, something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this too. So with that being part of the, like what you do, you said you had a coach that helps you deal with like that stuff. How does he, I guess, what was the difference before you started working with a coach that knew that stuff versus, I don't know if you did it on your own or if you just had advice, like what are the stuff you were looking out for? Because it still seems that realm of things is still kind of like the Wild West. Like some people are like, hey, try this, this dope.
Yeah.
And this is like, talk to us about that.
So it's there's so much information out there and you really don't know what's true and what's not, and you know what this does and what that does. So I decided to start taking Anavar when I first started.
The gateway.
It all starts with Anavar. Started with a low dose of that. I think it was on like 10 milligrams or something a week or something like that, 20 maybe. And then after that, I added Primo and then MBPP eventually.
And was this from like advice from somebody, or was this like you did your research too, like, or you internet scouting? Like like how did you come up with that?
Sadly, I did not do my own research. Okay. I kind of took the advice of the coach I had at the time. And thankfully he didn't do anything too harsh. Like he wasn't putting me on tren and test and whatever else. But for this meet, I actually only did Masteron. That was the only anabolic I used for this meet.
Now, as a woman, what are the things that like, because women are just, when it comes to everything, there's just so many more complicated systems, I think, than men, right? So what are the things that your coach has you taken, like, what are the, like, if a woman's listening, she's like, I want to go down this route to take some drugs to help me get stronger. Yeah. What are the things that she needs to be thinking about as far as maybe her blood work, the things that she should avoid? Because you mentioned that your first coach, certain things, maybe you, I don't know if there were any regrets there or just things that you shouldn't have done. Like, what do women need to take into account?
Hormones, liver, kidneys, you know, blood work, I think should be done very regularly if you're going to be using anabolics.
How regularly?
I'd probably say like, I do every 6 months.
Okay.
So just to keep an eye on it. Yeah, I only have one kidney, so I have to watch that pretty close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I actually had cancer as a child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How,
At what age?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So I was 4 years old. I had a Wilms tumor around my right kidney. Chemo, radiation, and then they eventually took the tumor and the kidney out. So,
Wow.
and I've been fine ever since.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Damn. That is definitely an extra consideration
Yeah.
with, what steroids can do to like your organs, your kidneys, your liver, things like that. Have you ever considered testosterone? Have you ever taken testosterone? You messed around with that at all, or?
So I have, I go to a hormone like specialist, because my progesterone and estrogen are always pretty low. And he has me on, I take 2 milligrams of test 3 times a week and progesterone and estrogen just to like keep those balanced.
Have you noticed any like real negative side effects? Like when you get your blood work done, is there anything like that's alarming, or have you felt, I don't know, you felt sick or weird or had any real hiccups with using any of these things?
So for 2021, I was on anabolics for the whole year because I did the Kern US Open and then I rolled right into those bodybuilding shows. So after the shows, I got my labs done and my liver was very angry with me.
What changed with the
for
show
those.
stuff? Like for bodybuilding?
Basically, I just dropped the Primo and just did Anavar, and then Clen and Arimidex, and yeah, I think that's it.
You find you take more stuff for bodybuilding or for powerlifting?
More stuff for bodybuilding. Definitely.
Yeah, that was my protocol too. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was not ready. I did not expect that.
Yeah, it's just like there's a lot more things to take, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more things that can,
A ton.
I guess, help you have the most optimal physique on stage.
Yeah.
You mentioned hormones. Have you noticed any like mood changes or any libido changes? Like I know for myself, like the first time I got into testosterone, like I wanted to rub up against every single thing that I could think of. So I don't know.
Desk.
Yeah, wow.
Including this desk.
You saw the.
I saw. Yes.
We had the cameras
Wait,
rolling the whole
what
time.
happened?
They
What
have
happened?
access to the security. Damn.
Damn.
You're telling me, buddy.
I covered Jesus's ears.
Hopefully his eyes too. That's hilarious.
Anything like that going
on? Nothing like, my progesterone was really low at one point, and when we were bringing that up, I was a raging bitch. But libido, yeah. Oh yeah. Very high. Very, very high.
So when it comes to, I guess, because when it comes to like what you're doing as far as powerlifting and bodybuilding is concerned, what type of stuff do you like have to deal with from the internet? Because you have been
shit.
like you got your pro card in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
As just coming into the fucking game, right? So you killed that.
Thank
You're
you.
doing world records in terms of powerlifting. You're progressing fast, and your numbers as far as social media too have progressed. So how does it, with everything that all the comments that are coming your way, does it bother you at all? Because being new to that, how do you deal with it? Do
Yeah.
you ignore it?
I have always kind of thought, these people, they don't know me. They don't know my life. They don't know my story. Their opinion means nothing. I've never understood why people get so worked up about stuff online. It would take a lot. It would take a lot for me to get really upset over what people say to me online. But with bodybuilding, it actually got worse. My message request folder is a scary place to be.
How so? How so?
I
want to know.
There are some freaks out there.
I'm still hanging on.
Freaks. I'm like, people want to buy my underwear. They want to buy my shoes. They want me to squeeze them and yell at them. And
So, how much money? Yeah.
What are we charging?
What's the wait list look like right now?
I have not capitalized on those opportunities yet.
You can talk to Mike O'Tren. He can lead you in the right direction.
Okay.
He's still selling his underwear.
And so I actually I have SUI, stress urinary incontinence, and people cannot wrap their heads around that. They're like so like mind blown when they see like the video of me deadlifting, and thank you so much.
Look at that.
You're so
Service
nice.
with a
What's
smile.
your name?
Special guest.
That's Owen.
Owen, nice to meet you. They like cannot wrap their head. They're like, did she just pee? Like, yeah. Or they'll ask if I just had an orgasm on the platform. Like, just, yeah, totally.
Like, I really love lifting weights.
Squirt on that platform? Ew.
You're like, maybe. That's extra.
Honestly.
When you're, so that just mainly happens when you're lifting something really heavy.
Yeah.
It happens to a lot of women, right? I mean,
yeah, it's very prevalent in women, and it can even happen with men, actually. It's just, I've always had it. You know, I would run track in high school, and I would like finish a race, and, you know, it would happen. It's just, you know, I just accepted it. And, you know, it's just what my body does.
you just get a lot of comments about it.
A lot. You know, I never in my life would have imagined that I would talk to so many strangers about pee
Yeah.
online. Like, I never would have imagined
Well,
that.
the other women they probably appreciate that you
They do.
even show the video
Yeah.
and that you talk about it, because they're probably like, shit.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit's happening to me sometimes too, right?
Yeah. I get a lot of women, and it makes my heart happy when women send me those messages and they're like, hey, like, you empower me to like deadlift heavy and not care about this, and they'll ask me for advice, and yeah, that makes my heart really happy when women like reach out and tell me stuff like that.
We're probably going to get into more technique stuff like in video, but like when it comes to your techniques for your lift, like what is it that you pay attention to when you're like big cues when you're squatting, deadlifting, benching? Because again, it is wild. I know that you need to build a base, right, of muscle before you get into lifting, but your technique on your lifts is fucking crazy,
Thank
right?
you.
So what are the things that you really paid attention to as you were progressing and building better technique? Like, how do you approach the bar? What do you think about?
So before each lift, I like envision myself doing that lift absolutely perfectly. Like before I have even touched the bar, I've already won. So I kind of focus on that. As far as technique goes, honestly, I'm a pretty upright squatter, pretty wide squatter. Sumo, I say recently, I've only done sumo for about 2 years now.
That looked really good.
Yeah.
It's good.
My conventional is absolute dog shit.
Do you think
I won't lie.
Do you think that like your athletic background and the way you're able to move, because you get into great positions with all your lifts, like your sumo, your hips are great, your squat, like everything looks really good. Like
Thank you.
Do you have mobility restrictions?
Upper body definitely. Ooh, there's my butt. That was good.
Well,
That's good.
She wants us to pull it up.
Yes.
No, well, I did want to. I did want to pull it up
That thing's
because
nice.
when you guys were talking about comments, like there's nothing but like appreciation on everything. So I was curious, like, how do you handle some of that? Sorry to sidetrack it, but you did bring up your butt, so I had to But it's true though. Like I think any of the negative commenters or whatever would see somebody bodied up like this and be like, okay, I get it. Like you look great. So
Thank you.
I'm curious to know like how what's it like seeing all the positive comments?
Oh, it's nice. It's very nice. I don't rely on that outside validation. Like, your girl looks good. I know that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
That might be a little cocky, but
Yeah, you don't need the extra from other people.
I don't need it. I do appreciate it. Absolutely. I appreciate the people who take the time out to comment on my pictures and videos and like, all that. But I definitely don't need the outside validation to feel
Where
good
did
about
this
myself.
mindset come from? This mindset come from mama?
Yeah,
It sounds like you must have had a
amazing.
pretty good upbringing.
I did. I had a very good upbringing. Mom was the rock. Parents divorced. Mom's house was a safe place, and she raised me to do anything, be anything, and
Was she pretty good disciplinarian too? Because it seems like you got your shit together.
Military.
oh my god, she's a hard ass. She laid down the law. I mean, we were curfews, we were all that. We were not running wild. She raised us right.
How many siblings did you have?
So I have 2 older sisters and 2 younger brothers.
Oh wow, so you're in the middle.
My dad was a Sorry, Dad.
Okay. Pat Project family, I know you guys are enjoying this episode, but I need to talk to you real quick about LMNT Electrolytes. Now, we've been taking electrolytes this past year, and they're one of the biggest supplements that's made a difference for all of our performance. Number one, because we don't cramp up during workouts anymore, but they allow us to be truly hydrated. Most people, when they're dehydrated, just reach for a jug of water and drink it, but you're not replenishing the electrolytes that you lose when you sweat. That's why LMNT has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium per easy-to-use packet. Pour it in some water, drink it pre-workout, post-workout, or even during your workout, and trust me, you're going to feel a difference. Andrew, can you tell them how to get it?
Head over to drinklmnt.com/powerproject. Get a value bundle because you're going to get 4 boxes, any flavor you want, for the price of 3. That's what we do. That's what you should do. Links to them down in the YouTube description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
do your siblings like also do stuff athletically, or you just
No.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm the only one in my family that goes to the gym.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mom, she'll she's what, 46? So she's still active. She still has to do like PT tests and stuff. But she doesn't like work out. I don't know why. No one else in my family really got into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm the only one that's really active. It's a hard dynamic because they don't quite understand it. And they don't, they try to be supportive, but they don't quite understand it.
Let's say that you just got done working out and you go to the grocery store and you're in like a tank top or something.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, what happens?
So one of my favorite things is like catching people like looking at me, like they're like, oh shit. Or they're like smile, or like, I've even had people like, I'm so sorry, but I have to touch you. I'm like, okay, do it. I love it. You know, I've never understood why people are like weirded out that, you know, people are looking at me or people comment on my body. Like, I worked so damn hard to look like this. I'm happy when someone like, you know, appreciates this. Like,
I'd say a lot of women are probably pretty excited, right?
Yeah,
when they're like, holy fuck, you look amazing,
yeah,
right?
It's so cool. I love it. But yeah, I've never understood why people would get mad over someone like appreciating something that you deliberately did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. I think it's great.
Okay. Being where you are now, as far as like what you're doing in powerlifting, you said that before you made the decision to hop on, you're like Steffi's here, all these other lifters are here. Now that you're kind of at that level with these individuals.
Yeah.
Do you still look up to anyone as far as lifters? Like, are there any lifters that you're like, ooh, wow, like no, you don't?
Mm-mm,
Interesting.
no.
When did that shift?
I don't know. I stopped putting people on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stopped thinking that people were unbeatable. I don't think that there's anyone out there who is unbeatable. I think a lot of people like close their minds off to opportunities. You know, I could never beat her. I'll never be number one. I'm telling you right now, I will be number one. There's no question.
I was at a competition maybe about 3 years ago with, I think, one of your training partners, Brianni. And she was telling me, she's like, all I want to do is, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but she's blown past all that. Like whatever the goal was that she said. And she's like, I'm going to do it. And like, I met her that one time for, 5 minutes. And I was like, that was fucking cool. I was like, that's a lot of confidence. So it's pretty amazing to put something like that forward and then be able to have the follow through behind it.
Back it up. Yeah.
But I really believe in what you're talking about, not putting people up on a pedestal. Do you find yourself doing that with celebrities and stuff too? Do you not? Because I think for some people, I think that can sometimes be a little dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really do it with celebrities either. No, not really.
You're into your own shit and your own goals and you're concentrated on that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So with that being said, okay, I want to kind of go back to the bodybuilding thing a little bit because you get your pro card. You said you got second at the Tampa?
Yeah, so I was very close to
Why
going
are
to
her
the
shoulders
Olympia.
so big? She's wearing like a long sleeve shirt and the shoulders are just popping.
And they're still just...
You know, this is actually they told me, the judges at the Tampa Pro told me I need bigger shoulders.
Really?
Yeah, bigger shoulders, bigger arms.
Well, we don't think that's going to be a
hurt my
problem to
heart.
get.
They're huge.
But okay, let me ask you this. The person that beat you, were they Olympia caliber? Because I wonder, you're gonna be somewhere as far as an like all-time great as far as powerlifting is concerned in probably some short time, right? But when we're looking at what you're doing in bodybuilding too, do you have aspirations to get on the Olympia stage for bodybuilding at some point?
Absolutely.
What does that, like when I don't know if you map out like what you think about that, but what does that look like as far as, okay, I'm competing in powerlifting here, then I'll transition to bodybuilding, then go back, like what does that look like?
So I want to be the best at both. I want to be number one in the world in powerlifting, and I want to be on the Olympia stage. I think that in 2022 I could definitely go to the Olympia. I don't think I'd win it, and that's totally fine. It's just an absolute honor to even be on the stage. The girl that beat me at the Tampa Pro, I believe she got 5th at the Olympia. So,
and like you probably already looked at her and looked at things that you, what is missing for you to be on that stage and like killing on that stage?
I need a bigger arms, bigger shoulders.
Bigger arms and shoulders.
I need, So she, basically they call it like a taper. So I need a bigger top. Yeah.
I kind of think that in bodybuilding, like it's never good to tell yourself that you can't do certain things, but man, bodybuilding gets to be really sketchy at the very top. At the very top of bodybuilding, a lot of times you're ending up with people that have genetics that are sometimes difficult to catch up with. Do you feel that is the case maybe with bodybuilding, like where you're just dealing with like the top tier genetic freaks?
Yeah.
They're already bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
Whereas powerlifting, it's like if I keep working and I keep getting my technique down and I get a little bigger, like I can continually go from a 540 deadlift to a 555 to a 575.
Yeah.
But and not that it's to say that you can't make a lot of progress in bodybuilding, but there's some suckers out there that are just out in front and they're just it's like hard to catch them, you know?
Yeah. So this year's Miss Olympia winner, she's an absolute, just everything is perfect, like just absolute perfect. I guarantee she'll probably win the Olympia for as long as she wants to keep competing.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Honestly, like the interesting thing is like your physique coming from powerlifting going into bodybuilding. A lot of powerlifters, like because of the volume of training that they do, like they have blocky, like they don't
Waist.
have But you actually, you mentioned your taper. Like I feel like when you do concentrate on your shoulders and your arms, you'll probably have more ability to grow, and your back's a strong point.
Yeah.
You don't have a bad shape on stage. I think that's definitely something that you will absolutely be able to improve on in a few years. And your legs were fucking crazy.
Thank you.
Like, Jesus.
I think you look awesome, because a lot of times when we see people like transition into bodybuilding, sometimes, especially some female athletes that previously had a lot of muscle and a lot of strength, they'll kind of look short because the legs are big. Yeah. But you look super defined. It's a very aesthetic look.
Thank you.
I think it's going to continue to help you get places in bodybuilding.
I hope so.
What do you think is some of the main differences with training? Like we talked about how in powerlifting, you have to kind of brush up against things being difficult, but it's maybe not in your best interest to make them super difficult.
Yeah.
But bodybuilding's a little bit different. You got to kind of be in that zone where things hurt a little bit more and hang out there a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Bodybuilding is difficult in its own right. It takes a lot of mental strength to do bodybuilding. I mean, you're always like pushing for one more rep. I mean, bodybuilding was harder than, squatting 650 in reps, like by far.
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay. I want to know kind of what aspect of it. Is it the going really close to failure and volume aspect of it, and the pump aspect? Like what? Because
I mean, you have to go to a special place, because I mean, you just have to ask better for yourself. Like you have to push as hard as you can. I always would tell myself, like, I'm gonna win this set, and like, if I quit early or I didn't give it my all, like I didn't win. And winning is a very important part of who I am.
That's really fascinating because powerlifting, you could go to the gym and have a particular workout set up, and you could go to lift the weights, and for some reason you don't feel as strong as normal. And it's really easy to call an audible there. And in powerlifting, you can have workouts like that.
Yeah.
You can have workout where you say, well, I was supposed to handle, 515 today, but that's not in the cards. It's going to work with 475. Get some good reps in, get sets in. It's not a good idea to do that all the time. And every once in a while, you do have to force yourself to do something different. But we know if the technique's not there, you're probably going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get any stronger. But bodybuilding, it doesn't really matter how you feel. You got to push through. You got to fight for it. What I noticed is way different about the two is I remember in the middle of my powerlifting career, I could just get a bunch of caffeine or take some pre-workout or put on some good music. I can find some ways to just light myself on fire.
Yeah.
But when it came to bodybuilding, that doesn't work because the bodybuilding workouts are way different. And if you're going to be acting like a maniac for every set that you do in bodybuilding, you're going to be worn out 2 weeks into your training program. So it doesn't work the same. And it's a lot more like monotonous.
Yeah. It absolutely is. I think I ran the same program for the entire 3 shows. I just tried to beat what I did last week. So it's very, very monotonous.
What about posing?
Okay. So my work schedule, I work 10-hour shifts. So I would get off work at 6.
What do you do?
I'm a vascular interventional technologist. So like a scrub tech and an x-ray tech in one. So I get off work at 6, go to the gym for 3 hours, get home, cook, prep meals, go to bed at like midnight, 1 a.m., wake up at 4:30 for fasted cardio. Your girl was getting very, very little sleep.
How many days a week was that? Is that every day?
I mean, not the weekends.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't have a posing coach. I would practice posing on my lunch breaks in the bathroom. I made my routines up on stage.
Well, how did they end up?
They weren't that bad. I will show you.
Okay.
They weren't that bad.
Yeah.
I picked out a song and I just walked up there and, did what I thought. And
well, when you're good at posing, oddly enough, and you can just hit a beat, you can kill
it's
it.
Fine.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think this time around, when I do go back to bodybuilding, I will hire a coach. Because, having a great physique in bodybuilding only takes you so far. You have to know how to display it.
It is crazy, though, that, again, you got your pro card and you didn't have a posing coach.
Correct.
Your posing you must have done pretty good on your, posing yourself.
Yeah.
Right? But pros usually always, a pro level always has a coach.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got there and you competed in a pro show and you didn't, fuck. It's amazing.
You
there were people that would help me out,
Yeah.
I do have, so alongside Strong Barbell Club, I do train at a more bodybuilding style gym in Kansas City. And there are a couple people there that would help me and give me tips and stuff like that. So I did have people kind of guide me, but the majority of it was just kind of figuring out, looking in the mirror, seeing what looked good, what didn't.
Wow.
You have any time for a significant other with all this work and working out and bodybuilding and powerlifting and everything else?
So I actually just got out of a relationship about 3 months ago. Yeah. So I'm a single Pringle. Ready to mingle.
Single Pringle. Okay, so you mentioned you were getting 3 hours of sleep, working 10-hour shifts when you were doing the bodybuilding thing.
Yeah.
We talk about sleep all the time on the podcast because of how important it is, right?
It's so important.
And how is that was a lack of sleep something that you've dealt with before with training and competing, or do you always usually try to stay on top of that, but this time you didn't have the ability to?
I just didn't have the ability during bodybuilding. I would try, I would be prepping meals at 4 a.m. I was doing everything that I could do to get more sleep. It is so important. It's so important for performance. These days I'm getting 6 to 7. But yeah, it was a rough go there for a little while.
What else do you do for your recovery? Over the years, what have you learned as far as, because you're moving a lot of training volume, right? And a wild thing is you said that you were still training heavy when you were doing the bodybuilding stuff. And a lot of bodybuilders, because they feel more frail when they're leaner, they avoid heavy training, but you were still doing that.
Yeah, I was still going for it.
how's it that you keep your body healthy? Have you had any big injuries throughout all this training, or have you just been, what do you do to keep healthy?
No injuries. Oh, that was nice. I was in Colorado. No injuries. I go to a chiropractor. I get soft tissue work done.
How often?
Chiropractor maybe once, twice a month whenever I need it. I don't really, I feel good. I don't really have anything that bugs me. No aches or pains or anything like that.
Really? Like
Yeah.
no little, just nagging things here
No,
and there?
not really. I do get some elbow tendonitis pretty bad. But other than that, no, nothing that really bugs me too much.
You're handling those hundreds very well.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
And that was bodybuilding.
Yeah. That's at Phil Heath, or the gym that Phil Heath is usually training at.
Yeah, Armburst, that is an awesome gym. They have a whole room just for leg equipment. Like, badass gym.
Yeah.
Love that gym.
I thought Phil Heath was going to kill me in that gym one day. Like literally just looking at me, saying how he handles like weird fans. He like grabbed my traps and he's just like, you need to calm down. I'm like, whoa, hey, I'm on your side.
Hey.
But you know, his eyes, like I literally thought he was going to murder me. That was scary.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Pretty damn big too.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Do you have other women that ask you about how to get bigger? Because it's like not a super common thing. It seems like a lot of women are trying to get smaller a lot of times. So do you have a lot of women who are like, I'd like to be bigger. How do I get some muscle like you?
Yeah, I have women that'll like reach out to me and kind of ask questions, things like that, or women who are like, you know, it's cool seeing how big you are, and that like that inspires me to like, you know, grow. And I think it's awesome. I love being big and muscular, and I love it. I wouldn't change it anything.
Well, what would your advice then be for a woman that's trying to get stronger and bigger, getting into powerlifting or bodybuilding? What are some things that like you discovered through training in both sports as a woman that you think maybe men don't have to, like men don't think about, or is something that maybe women should understand more?
Eat.
Okay.
Eat all the food.
Yeah. Okay.
Eat all the food. I mean, you know, you're trying to grow. Eat some damn food.
Yeah, people are kind of scared of the eating side of things. You got to really eat to fuel yourself, you know, for whatever style of workout. You need to have the fuel. And I think a lot of times people are making a mistake of kind of under eating.
Yeah,
and they can't really gain muscle, and then you kind of get skinny fat, or every time you lose weight, you predominantly lose muscle, and you get yourself in trouble that way.
Yeah.
What about cardio? How did you handle cardio for bodybuilding?
So I was a runner before, and I actually really enjoyed it. I still do fasted cardio now as a powerlifter.
Running?
Yeah, I'll do like intervals, sprints. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah. It like, I don't know, it starts your day off right. I love it. I think it's great.
What's the interval sprint look like?
So I'll do 2 minutes on, and then 3 to 4 minutes just like slow walking.
Wait, excuse me. When you say 2 minutes on, how fast are you? Like,
I'll start at like 8.5, and then I'll try and like go up for each interval.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many intervals did you say you did?
I do 4.
Damn, that's pretty damn good.
This is interesting.
Not bad.
That's some hard work.
Yeah. And this is something you do even outside of the bodybuilding stuff. Like you've been doing
I do
this.
it now.
Any idea what your heart rate gets to on that? Have you looked at it?
No idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
One thing I'm noticing about you actually right now that you're mentioning this is like you're not a heavy breather.
No.
Like you're like, what do you say? No, you're not. No, you're not. Like this whole podcast, because like a lot of individuals who they put on a lot of muscle, right? And they're, you know, they're like between everything.
Snoring while they're awake.
You breathe quietly. And
Thank you.
Is that, have you paid attention to like your resting heart rate and all that? Cause like your health, even though like, you know, you are taking some stuff, you are super muscular, you're healthy, it seems.
Yeah. So normally I have a Whoop band that like tracks like resting heart rate, HRV, things like that. I couldn't tell you what my resting heart rate is. I think it's in 50s or 60s, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So for this meet, I did like a refeed. And I got up to 203-ish. And that I noticed it was a little uncomfortable. I didn't like being that heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your nutrition like years ago before you got like deeply into bodybuilding and deeply into powerlifting?
All right, so I thought carb loading was like eating cookies and whatever you wanted.
It's not.
It's wait, Mark's like, wait, it's not.
Yeah, what's going on here?
What is that? Yeah, I trained like a bodybuilder, kind of, but ate whatever the hell I wanted, pretty much. I didn't really know what I was doing back then, so I knew I wanted to be big, so I ate big.
And you're still doing the sprints and stuff, right?
Not back then. No, I didn't do cardio back then.
Okay. Just mainly making sure you get maybe enough protein?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And were you in good shape then?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was maybe not as big as I am now, but yeah, I was in pretty good shape.
Do you think that, and this is, I guess, for everybody, but I guess the path to being a high level bodybuilder might go through powerlifting? Because looking at Mark, looking at Nsima as well, although Nsima, you did bodybuilding first, yeah. But somebody like Maddie Forberg is doing really well as well.
She did awesome.
Yeah, and then yourself. So do you think that we might see that more like reoccurring thing moving forward now?
Yeah. There are a couple women like that were powerlifters kind of venturing out into bodybuilding. I love to see it. I mean, we're proving that it can be done.
Yeah.
I think more people will try it.
Well, it's just, I mean, because you guys, like, you're not just doing it. You guys are winning.
Yeah.
Like, that's the craziest shit. Like, Mark won. I don't remember where Maddie placed, but I know she kicked ass.
Yeah.
And then you, of course. So, yeah, I think that might be like more of like somebody who wants to do it long term. They mean, okay, I got to go get big now instead of, I mean, they look awesome too, but like I'm thinking of like, I guess bikini, like physique, that sort of thing, where they're just more slender.
They are.
They're going for that leanness, but you guys are just looking awesome. So I think we might see that more often.
Yeah,
now.
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's fucking awesome.
Tell us more about the gym that you train at, because I think there's a lot of amazing lifters there, right?
Yeah. So I train with JP Price, Cade Proctor, Jeff Frank. Yeah, I train with a lot of really talented individuals. Super grateful and super blessed for that, because it's made me, more successful for sure. But yeah, Strong Barbell Club.
It's kind of amazing when it's like, it's the norm to see 6 plates on a bar, 7 plates. It's just, and so I think there's something really important about that. And maybe when you first kind of transitioned into going into this gym, maybe that was something that you were like, wow, these dudes are moving some fucking sick weights. I bet I can figure that out one day.
Yeah. So I walked into Strong Barbell Club the first day and I saw this girl, and big girl. She had like her squat shoes on, her belt. And I was like, holy shit. I was so intimidated. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I belong here. Yeah, I was so intimidated. But now it's like a girl squatting 500 at the gym is like just another day.
I think that's a really big deal, trying to get yourself into it.
That is such a good TikTok clip right there.
No, but it's a big deal trying to get into a gym where there's a lot of people that are just much stronger than you. Because there is something about seeing how normal something is and then being like, oh yeah, I can totally do something like that. Like when I came to super training in 2015 or something, my strength went up drastically because everyone was stronger than me.
Yes. It matters. It matters. The people around you, it matters. If you're surrounded by winners, people who want to see you do good, people who want to support you, you're gonna do great. Just that simple.
What does some of your program look like? You mentioned you got two different people kind of programming some of your stuff.
Yeah.
Without tons of detail, like what is what style of training, what kind of stuff are you doing? Anything really unconventional, or is it pretty much bench squatting and deadlifting and then just different reps and sets surrounding that?
Pretty conventional. The meet that I did yesterday, I had to reacclimate to low bar squatting because I had not low bar squatted in probably 6 months. So we did some things like segmented squats, pause squats. So a segmented squat is where you unrack and then you'll break at the hips, pause, squat, pause, and then stand up. Just to find a good torso position and connect with the movement a little bit better. But no, pretty standard.
some pause deadlifts. I've seen you do those before.
A lot of pause deadlifts. I've done block pulls in the past, chains, bands, kind of like a mixture of like conjugate and, I really like conjugate.
Yeah, conjugate's a lot of fun, but as the contest comes closer, I'd imagine you start to participate in the actual lift that you're going to do in the competition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing that kind of shit where you're just doing different exercises. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun for many, many weeks until you have to buckle down and then get used to the regular lifts again.
All the straight bar work.
Yes, it's because right now you what did you say your job was?
So I'm a vascular interventional technologist.
So how did you start doing that?
So I got my bachelor's in radiologic science. So like people who take like chest x-rays. And then, so you start there. And then after that, you can basically branch into anything you want to do. CT, MRI, ultrasound, anything. I really liked, so it's like a surgery setting. Scrub in, scrub out, that sort of thing. I really enjoyed that. And we do a lot of really cool stuff. So like we, like strokes, we reverse strokes. We'll, go up there, get the clot out of the brain. Like we do some really cool stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a hard career to have, and also trying to be successful in powerlifting because I take emergency call. So they can call me at any hour and I can work 1 hour, I can work 9 hours. It's not a set schedule. It's pretty wild, pretty hectic. So kind of sucks in that aspect, but.
Okay. Do you, when it comes to like what you're doing right now in powerlifting and bodybuilding in the future, do you want to be doing more stuff with it as far as not just competing? Like, what does your goal look like as far as that? Not just being number one in both, but what else do you want to do? If there's anything else.
I would like to get out of the hospital. I think that I would be a lot more successful within powerlifting and bodybuilding if I did. As far as like what I would do, I honestly don't know. I've considered coaching here lately, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll ultimately need some sort of time where you have more time on your hands.
Yeah, and just like and a set schedule. Like I have a different day off every week. I have a different, I will get called like in the middle of training sometimes.
Damn.
Yeah, I've had to like. I remember there was one session I was like establishing my deadlift opener, and I was like working up to that top single, and they called, so I had to leave, go to work, come back, and restart. That freaking sucks. That's very hard.
Is it hard to do that? I mean, is it not hard to do that, but is it like, I would imagine that I would just end up with a shitty workout. Does that happen to you? Times? Probably super frustrating, right?
Yeah. I had like my last heavy squat for this meet, and they called me while I was warming up, and like my mind was instantly just on work. Like I couldn't even focus on training, so that kind of sucked, but I just make the best of it. This is what I've got to work with, and I make the best of it.
Cool. I was going to ask, I don't know if you've posted anything about it or commented on like some of the stuff that's been going on with bodybuilding, like some of the dudes having heart attacks and stuff like that.
It's scary.
Yeah. Where do you think we're going to end up? Like, is it going to get better? Are we going to have, I don't know, some type of like health checks before people compete or anything like that?
It would be really awesome if we had some sort of, health check, some sort of like physical or examination. It's scary and it sucks, and it's happening a lot more here recently. Sad.
What are some side effects? If some people are listening, especially women, what are some side effects that can happen from steroids that you've experienced?
Yeah. So far I've experienced, my voice got pretty deep. Body hair, clit growth, I'm trying to think what else. Obviously more muscular.
That's a good side effect.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one. But yeah, nothing that really bothered me too much. Nothing with my hair, nothing with that. But yeah. Nothing that I really minded too much.
Is there any way to combat that, or is there ways to have some of that reverse?
Reversed, I don't think so, no. Combating the side effects, I couldn't tell you, honestly.
But when you come off, some of these things might, like your voice might change a little bit when you're off versus when you're on.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Before you started, did you know that it would change things this much? Were you like already like, this is most likely going to happen and I'm okay with that? Or was it, shit, my voice is deeper.
Yeah.
I'm now okay with it. Or did you decide that beforehand, or were you okay with it as it happened?
So I did some basic research. Like, I knew that my voice would get deeper. I knew that the body hair would come. So I wasn't surprised when that happened. I was a little disappointed because I used to sing. So I was pretty disappointed when the voice started to go down. Yeah.
Damn, ruined your singing voice. You don't sing anymore?
No.
Damn, just doesn't sound the same again.
No, it does not.
Shit.
How long do you think it'll be until you do break some of the records that you're looking for when you look at your training trajectory?
So a record that I have in mind that I would like to actually break this year, the heaviest wrapped squat done by a female is 705. She was a super heavyweight. I think I can definitely beat that this year.
What was your best wrap squat before? Was like 633?
650.
650.
At 165.
Oh. And you're going to compete at 181 at this one?
Maybe.
Oh, shit.
We'll see.
Okay. So what's your best in the gym so far?
This is 615.
Yeah. 650 was my highest.
Ever?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Damn.
And then just casually. Yep.
And this meet's going to be in what you said?
The one in 6 weeks is going to be in sleeves. And then I plan to do one more after that in wraps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, how about accessories in the gym? Because here you're using a safety squat bar.
Yeah. So normally I'll do like the main set on a straight bar. I think I just cussed right there. And then I'll have like a specialty bar set, just something lighter.
Is there any people in particular that you want to compete against, or is there any type of competition that you would like to do? Like that's maybe like in a different country, or
I don't know. I don't
Just a
know
big
about ones in
competition.
different countries. I'd love to compete against Christy Hawkins. She's in the 160. She competes in the 165 class. I've never gotten a chance to compete against her. She's absolutely incredible. But right now, I'm currently ranked number 2 in the world. Mariana Gasparian is above me. I'd love to make her number 2 soon.
Okay.
what you got to do? What do you need to do to be able to get past her? You think?
So her dot score, I think it's like 705, maybe. Let's see.
You haven't had a chance to go head to head with her yet?
I have. So I competed against her at the 2021 Kern US Open, and she beat me. So her dot score is 709, and mine is currently 687. So.
And you think you have a good chance of beating her?
Yeah.
All right.
Love to do that soon.
Yeah. When you look, like, let's say, because, okay, number 1 in bodybuilding, number 1 in powerlifting, is there anything else you want to try athletically in the future? Because you came from a background where you did all these different sports, right? Now you're focusing on 2 different sports that go great with each other. But is there anything else you ever want to try your hand at?
I'd love to try strongman. I think that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also falls pretty well in line. Like, the cool thing is though, is that you like strongman has you doing a lot of movements that you need to be in weird positions, but you're already good at that.
Yeah.
So,
I think that'd be so fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Just crushing everybody in all the sports. Huh?
Trying.
What do you have coming up next? So you just did this competition. You got one a couple months from now?
Yeah, I have another one in 6 weeks. The Hybrid Showdown in Miami. So, yeah.
Yeah, there should be a lot of strong people at that one, huh?
Yeah. I'm excited.
And are you going to be the same body weight?
Maybe.
Figuring that out.
Yeah, my coach wants me to lose a little weight. after this meet. So might do 165, might do 181. I don't know. Haven't decided.
With these coaches, have there been any like tricks or anything that kind of surprised you in your training where you were maybe struggling with a particular lift and now that lift is maybe become more of a strong point for you because they had you doing some like stuff that you were like, oh, I didn't know that was going to really work that well.
Yeah. So with my deadlift, I've always struggled with starting position and lockout. But they kind of taught me cervical retraction. And that just like light bulb, like
So
clicked,
like
driving your head back towards the wall. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Driving your chin like kind of through your like neck or something.
It's not going like this, but driving back that.
That was good.
The double chin.
That was good. Yeah.
No, but it is interesting when you see some like sumo deadlifters, like I think Yuri does it, and Bryce was doing it for a long time. When they deadlift, they would be, or at least I know Bryce was here, right?
Yeah.
So that made a huge difference for you.
Yeah. It made an awesome difference. So I'm really excited to see, how that affects, this next 6 weeks going forward.
Anything like any little things like that come to mind for your other lifts that have been beneficial?
No. I pretty much have a pretty solid form on my bench and squat. So
sick.
You probably just use a wide variety of techniques. You mentioned those pauses on the squats and some pauses on deadlifts. So probably some pausing, probably some negative work here and there where you're just going slower.
Yeah.
Maybe some isometrics mixed in, maybe some partial range of motion type stuff.
Yeah.
Things like that, right?
Yeah.
Sick. I mean, you're routinely benching, 315 or so? I think I've seen you just the other day just doing that, like just laying down and doing it so easy.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It's fun.
That's fucking crazy.
Does it feel good to beat up on the boys sometimes in the gym?
It does. It does. I enjoy it.
I mean, this is 325.
Yeah. So this is my best bench ever.
Just another day at the office.
Just another day.
And then
Is your mom supportive? Is she pretty like excited that you do these things, or is she more like worried because you're getting so jacked or something like that?
Yeah, she's a little worried. She doesn't really. She's supportive, but she doesn't really understand everything.
Why do you got to be this jacked?
Yeah. And like the first time that they heard my voice, like I hadn't gone home in a little while, and I like went home, and the first time they heard my voice, they were like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "What are you doing?" And then they like. My mom like knew but didn't know.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know if she was like in denial, but it's all right, They all know now and they like just accepted it.
But it seems like they didn't really get it anyways, right?
No, they didn't.
So it wouldn't matter if you were still natty and just getting jacked.
Right.
They'd be like, why are you so big?
Why? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know it's a little bit of a drive out here and stuff.
That's
you guys
all right.
are
Thanks for having me.
pretty tired after competing. Did you get a chance to see the Golden Gate Bridge yet, or is that where you guys are going next?
We're going to go there after this. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's not really golden, but
It's red.
whatever. Yeah, it's red. It's a big old reddish thing. It looks amazing at night.
The Sacramento Tower Bridge is more golden. Even though that's kind of like more like pea, but it's okay.
It's all right.
It's yellow.
Yeah, it ain't too bad.
All right, Andrew, take us on out of here, buddy.
Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Please make sure you guys are subscribed. And if you like today's conversation, hit that like button. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you found most interesting. We have an idea what that is already going to be. Please follow the podcast at Mark Bell's Power Project on Instagram, at MB Power Project on TikTok and Twitter. My Instagram and Twitter is at I am Andrew Z, at the Andrew Z on TikTok. And Nsima, what's up?
Seriously, peeps, leave a comment for the algo.
Yeah,
but Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube, and Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter. Hunter, where can people find you?
Instagram, Hunter M. Henderson.
Sick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like I said, thank you so much for your time and tons of respect for what you're doing on the platform. And hopefully you kick the shit out of everybody in bodybuilding as well.
I hope so.
Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. I'm at Mark Smelly Bell. Catch you guys later.